Today I'm going to be talking about ionic bonding. What is ionic bonding? Ionic bonding is a type of chemical bond that involves electrostatic attraction between oppositely charged ions. The charged ions represent atoms that have lost one or more electrons, which are cations, or ions that have gained one or more electrons, which are anions. Cations are metal atoms, and anions are nonmetal atoms. The metal donates one or more electrons, forming a positively charged ion or cation with a stable electron configuration. These electrons then enter the nonmetal, causing to form a negatively charged ion or anion, which also has a stable electron configuration. The electrostatic attraction between the oppositely charged ions causes them to come together and form a bond. All ionic compounds have some degree of covalent bonding or electron sharing. Thus, the term ionic bonding is given when the ionic character is greater than the covalent character. Bonds with partially ionic or partially covalent character are called polar covalent bonds. Formation of an ionic bond. An example would be table salt, which is sodium chloride. When sodium Na and chlorine Cl are combined, the sodium atoms each lose an electron, forming cations, and the chlorine atoms each gain an electron to form anions. These ions are attracted to each other to. Here's a picture of table salt. The black dots represent chlorine and the white dots represent the sodium. Covalent bonding versus ionic bonding. Ionic bonds are atoms ions. Covalent bonds are atoms which are bound by sharing electrons to attain stable electron configurations. Ionic bonds use a geometry that follow the maximum packing rules, and covalent bonds use the VSEPR rules, which is the valence sharing electrons. Can ionic compounds conduct electricity? Yes. If molten or dissolved, they can, because the ions in these conditions are free to move and carry electrons between the anode and the cathode. In a solid form, they typically cannot conduct electricity because they are held together too tightly for them to move around. It is important to remember that because the unequal electron distribution around the reacting atoms, the resulting ionic compounds have all partial charges. Ionic bonds are also called electrovalent bonds.